Hey everybody, today I am going to be answering a question from one of my viewers. This person's Twitter name is Eyes in the Sky, and they ask any advice on someone who wants to get away from the past as much as possible and move forward. Whoa. That's a really good question, a very relatable question, I think, because we all have baggage, things that we maybe are ashamed of, things we wished we could have done differently, and some things that just hurt so much that you can't help but want to forget about it. And I know you're not going into much detail when it comes to this question, but I think even in a broad sense, the answer to this might be easier than you think, but it's easier said than done. It's easier to make the claim and to say you're going to do something, but to actually change, that's a different thing entirely. When people say things like put the past behind you, I know what they mean. I get the intention behind it, but I don't always think that's the best way of putting it. I think really the trick to maybe coming to terms with your past is not to run from it, but to accept it. When you run away from something, it's always in the back of your mind as something you are purposely trying to get away from. So by trying to get away from something and trying to use that as your motivation, then really, ironically, it's becoming everything to you. You're trying to run away from your past, but you're placing a lot of your time and energy on it. When you try to run away from something, that means that you fear it. And when you fear something, that manifests itself into all kinds of things, paranoia, anxiety, and sometimes that can lead to maybe unhealthy ways of dealing with crises. If you just accept that the past is always going to be a part of you, no matter what, when you you can say that, but when you actually truly believe it in yourself, when there's that mental shift, you will feel such a sense of liberation. You're basically saying, yes, this happened. It's a part of me. I will never be the same because of it, but it will change the way that I handle things in the future, hopefully for the better. And I will move forward and be stronger because of it. So what you're asking, everyone can understand to a certain extent. We all have baggage, as I said. Me personally, yeah, I went through something like that semi-recently, and it took me baby steps to climb my way back up to sanity in a sense. So these are the things that help me, and hopefully they'll help you. So I'm going to kind of do it by the numbers. Number one, I think one of the most important things that you can do immediately is surround yourself with people that love you. Friends and family. Even if you're not a person that has many friends, I guarantee there's somebody out there that you look to, someone that you can talk to about something, because we're all human. We all have things that we hide and things that we fear, just like you do. And so maybe if you open up about it, someone else will be willing to open up too, and you'll find that common ground. Number two, start going out and having new experiences. When I say new experiences, I mean maybe things that you've never done before. Maybe go travel somewhere you've never been to. It could be as little as going to maybe an event, a local event that you've never been to. Maybe look through, your Facebook events. Oh, I've never done anything like that. Click, you're going. Maybe start volunteering or giving to causes that you care about. Do things that are going to create new memories, things that are going to help build you and help you evolve into someone that you want to be. And along with that, I think when you're picking these things that you want to do, I think you should really test yourself. Do things that are out of your comfort zone, things that are going to scare you, because you'll realize when you do them, it's not so bad. When you're trying to run from your past, I think a lot of times your past, if you're ashamed of it or afraid of it or it haunts you, it tends to deplete your confidence. So if you can put yourself out there and do things you've never done before, you'll realize it's not so bad, and you'll start to find that confidence again. It can be anything. It can be, if you're afraid of maybe drawing or something, take an art class and just try it. Do something out of your comfort zone. Go skydiving. Go to an ayahuasca retreat in Peru. Whatever it is, do it. Number three, I'd say see a therapist. And I understand that not everybody has the means to do that. Not everybody can afford to do that. If you can, however, I recommend it because I think really therapists can be wonderful. They can kind of be like life coaches in a sense, help you to get to your goal by giving you homework each week and pushing you to your goals. And also sometimes really people just need to get things off their chest, and a therapist is there to listen and to help you. And be sure you find one that you really like. I've been going to therapists on and off since I was about 14. So yeah, like 12 years. If you can't find, I mean, if you don't have that availability, if you can't afford to go to a therapist or whatever your situation is, try to find somebody. It can be maybe a relative that you're not too close to, or somebody that you really trust that isn't too biased, that isn't so directly in tune with all of your issues that they can really step outside and tell you and listen to you, tell you what you can do to improve. Take time to really explore these feelings. Explore why you want to run away from something, why the past is so scary to you, why you feel insecure about it or whatever. And the best way to do this is I think through art. I mean, maybe write about it, do a journal entry. If you like writing poetry, do that. Whenever I'm really upset, I write poetry. That's always kind of been my thing. And drawing, I do that too. So if you like to draw, maybe if you like to take pictures, if you're a photographer or a dancer or whatever, it doesn't even have to be artistic, something that's therapeutic for you that helps you to work through your feelings. Because when you don't work through when you don't work through your feelings, that's when you start to bury them. And that's where all the paranoia and the anxiety comes from, because you're not dealing with your problems. And number 5, I think, is maybe the most important one on this list. And that would be to remember that the mind is an illusion. Everything you're feeling, all of your insecurities, your fears, your guilt, whatever it is about anything, is all there to psychologically trick you. It's all scientific. These things are to trigger the mind, to motivate it, to keep boosting the species, to keep it going, to keep multiplying. You want to build the ego and keep the human race going. But you can bend it in any direction that you want. If you really want something, you can do it. And that's why the mind is so powerful. We may be meant to do something, but you don't necessarily have to do it. So if you really, really want to be able to come to terms with something and realize, I'm better than this, I can evolve, I am a person that is strong, then you can be that person. You just have to really believe it, and you have to take the steps to do it. Even me, as I said, I have things in my past that I've had to come to terms with, I've grappled with a lot more recently, and sometimes I think, wow, I've really made strides, I'm really proud of myself, but then out of nowhere, it'll come back and hit me, and I'll feel all that pain again. But now I try my best to be better than I was then, and to, instead of wallowing in that pain by myself, call somebody or do something, make art of that pain, something that's going to be helpful to my growth. And I'm telling you, the more you do it, it's a slow process, but it'll help you a lot. And I hope you'll be okay. I mean, life is not easy for anybody. That's an obvious statement, but it's something that is very true. Everybody has things in their life that have built them to be angry, cynical, all of these things, bitter. And you just have to remember that even though life is really hard and you build up all these calluses because of it, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And nothing exciting may happen for a while, but it will happen because life is unpredictable. So if you keep that in your mind, that, I think, is a great motivation for moving forward. It certainly has been for me when I thought, I don't really want to go on anymore. I just remember, you never know what is around the corner. And those experiences, both good and bad, that happen in the future will also help shape the way that you see yourself and you see the world, in positive ways and in negative ways. You just have to remember that it's all a mixed bag, and you have to accept that. But anyway, I hope that adequately answers your question. Thanks for the question. I think it's a really good one. I really like these more kind of personal, intimate questions that you guys ask. So if you have any more, you're welcome to comment or tweet me, whatever. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, the link is below. You can like my Facebook page and link below that. You can watch more videos here, and you can subscribe if you want to. Catch you next time.